friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing. Today I'm going to work in my homemade discbound journal, this one, and this I believe has watercolor paper in it. I did some collaging with some stamps on this paper, which I really loved how it turned out. I just wish that this girl had been darker, but I'm going to be probably using that, as well as I pulled out some of my Dina Wakley tissue papers as well, because I often forget about them. So I really love these arched windows, so hopefully I'll be able to integrate those in. And then these beautiful circles. And this is the quote I'm going to be using. It says, "Refuse to be ordinary, rise above, ask for what you want, go for it. Don't believe everything you think. You got this, you do, you can. Get out of your own way, listen to your inner voice, be still, stay curious, expect nothing, appreciate everything, notice goodness, make it happen, work hard, and strive." Couldn't think of a better thing to say in this art journal. So I pulled out some paints that I think I'm going to be using, some golden fluid acrylics, and I got this new ink. This is from Amsterdam. We have a Hobby Lobby that just opened up not even 20 minutes from me, which is amazing. But this is quinacridone rose, and I really love quinacridone rose, so I might give that a try. But this is just going to be very intuitive, very playful, just going to get some paint down first and then go from there. So I'm going to set all these out of the way so that I don't get them wet or soiled in any way. And then I'm going to pull out a page in my journal. Let's see, doesn't really matter which one. I prefer to not work on one that's got something on the back of it for something that's got a lot of liquid to it. So, and I think I probably should do something with the surface, some gesso or something. So just because I want it to be able to stand up to all these mediums. So I am going to go ahead and give it a coat of gesso, and when I get done and this is dry, I will be right back. Okay, this is dry. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to use this old gift card and try to apply some paint that way. So I think I'm going to start with my cadmium yellow medium. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that. Sorry, that's off camera. Just to get some paint on here. So far, so good. I love this color. Just really get it going here. The gesso really helps with this technique. I like it. I like it. Okay. That extra paint, that was a little bit much on my mat, as usual. Need to work on that. So now I'm going to go in with some of the blue, because I don't mind if this blue if the blue and yellow make a green. So I'm going to go in with this Cerulean Blue Deep. And let's see, maybe I can get this in screen for you. Let me get this over here. There we go. It's probably plugged. Yep. Probably should be enough, just a little bit. I'm going to go in with the smaller end just because I don't want as big as swipes. Looks like I'm going to need more paint though. Yeah, definitely need more. Didn't really make a green though. I don't know if the yellow was just too dry or getting a little bit of green. trying to get some color down, not anything in particular. And get some texture in the background. Yeah, I like that. Okay, wipe that paint up. Clean under my sock here. Oops, baby wipe. Okay, I'm going to pause and dry this because the next color I want to come in with is a pink or a red. I haven't decided if I'm going to use that quinacridone rose or not. We'll see, so I'll be right back. Actually, before this is too dry, I'm going to come in with some stencils and do some reverse stenciling and pull up some of this color. Forgot that I wanted to do that, so I'm going to use this stencil first. It's from TCW. See if we can get some interesting pattern here. I don't try this very often, but I thought I would give it a whirl here. Some of this is already too dry. I forgot that I wanted to do this. So unfortunately, it's not going to be great. Maybe before I go in, or after I go in with the next color. And we can always keep layering on top of this until we get the desired effect. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, I got a little bit of pattern, not much, mostly up in this corner here. So we'll try that again a little bit differently than I did. So we could actually probably just go in with a little bit of paint. I think I'll do that before I finish drying. So let me grab a makeup sponge really quick. And I'm gonna get some of this yellow out on my mat. Don't need much. Well, probably more than that though. A little bit. Let's go down here and get a little bit down here. It's a fairly transparent yellow, so it might not be the best color for this, but we're going to just keep playing. It's still creating a little bit of interest, so that's kind of what I was going for. So I will pause again and come back to you when this is dry. Okay, I'm going to try to go in with the pink now, but here's just a close-up of some of that texture. It wasn't exactly what I was going for, but I'm just trying to play and do something a little bit different than I would normally do. So I'm going to go ahead and get out this quinacridone rose. This is again from Amsterdam. No store near me carries this. I just discovered it at Hobby Lobby, so I'm pretty stoked about that. So I don't know how well this is going to work because it's pretty fluid. Let me get a stiffer card here. I can find one that's a little bit stiffer. This is just a Starbucks, so it's already bent. So I'm going to go in with this quinacridone rose. See what we get. Oh, I like that. Getting big swaths of it though, that's interesting. Very transparent, which is lovely. Let me get some on the edges here. Okay, so now before that dries, we're going to go in with a different stencil. See what we can get here. I'm going to go in with this diamond one and get a baby wipe here. Actually, let me wipe that up. Okay, so let's see what we can get here. I don't know if we're going to get much. Not really. Interesting. Not sure why that is. I think what I might do is come in, I just want a good background. This has got some good texture already, and I've got tissue paper that's going to just pop off this page. So I'm going to go in with just a little bit more yellow because I want some more yellow in places I don't have it. So let me wipe this card. Whoops, wipe this card off really quick. Save your old expired cards because they are amazing for art. So I'm going to go in with the little end this time. Oh, I love that. Wow. Wow. This is amazing. I'm loving this color. Very busy, but it's going to be gorgeous. So let me get a little bit more yellow. Don't need much, just a little bit. Yeah. Perfecto. So we're going to pause and let me show you a close-up of this now. It looks kind of odd in the camera, so hopefully the still photos will show what it really looks like. This is a really beautiful soft pink, the yellow, and then the blue, the cerulean blue deep. So I'm going to pause the camera and be right back to you. Okay, one more thing. I do want to come in, I think, with this honeycomb stencil and do just a little bit of stenciling with this cerulean because it's a little bit thicker than some of my other fluid acrylics. So I'm going to do that really quick. I just feel like I want a little bit more of that blue to show. So let's just go for it. Go for the gusto. I don't know what I'm going to get though because it's just everything's blending together quite a bit here. Because it's all fluid acrylic. But let's see. Oh, it's all right. Not the best, but we're going to go with it. If I was using a heavy body paint, this would have a different effect. But again, it's just we're creating some background for this journal page. So yeah, that's perfectly fine. So one more dry and then we'll be ready to put the collage paper on and then finish the page. One moment. Okay, we are dry. I just love this. It's not what I was going for, but I think it's just perfect. Super happy with it. So we're going to put some collage papers on top. So I'm going to get my matte medium out from Liquitex and a brush, and we're going to start putting these papers on. So I'm going to start with this big sheet that I made. I just love it. I just love how it turned out. I did one with multiple colors of ink and I didn't like it as much. So I'm going to go ahead and start just tearing this a little bit. It's kind of sad to tear it because it's so beautiful, but it's going to be lovely on this page. So we're going to sacrifice the background for the final result. Just going to plop that down there. This is actually what they call parchment paper. Whoops. It's a little bit thicker than tissue paper, but not as thin as parchment. It's not blending in quite as much as I would like, but it's okay. And then I also have Dina Wakley papers here. I wanted to use these windows, or I thought I did. I'm not really sure. The page isn't that big, so I may hold that for another project, but I am going to use this girl, or I want to use this girl, but probably not all of her. There's a lot already going on, so I'm not really sure at this point. I should have probably put her down first, so I'm going to go ahead and tear her off this one side, just so I don't have quite so much on this edge. I don't know that you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I guess you can. Okay. Do not fear, that will not be thrown away. So let's go ahead and just get this on here. I don't know where I want her though. Maybe I want her up here. I really should have put her on first because there's a lot going on, but that's okay. It's just a journal page. Just taking you along for the ride. It's not showing through as much as I thought it would, the background. It'll all be okay though. Yeah, definitely not what I expected. I expected more of the background to show through behind this tissue paper, but that's all right. So I'm definitely going to go in with more of my own tissue paper because it is not as thick, and get some down here. It's okay though. There's a little bit of mystery behind the behind this tissue paper, which I kind of think is beautiful. Just getting some more over here from my stash, because now that I've started covering up the background, I think I just need to cover it. Kind of seems counterintuitive. I intended it to show more, but I'm just going to go with it. It's all good. It's got some beautiful color back there. I just wish she wasn't so opaque. Kind of bummed about that. I haven't used this product much, so this tissue paper from Dina Wakley. We may have to come back with some paints on the top, give this some interest now that it's become very, very opaque. So I'm going to get a little bit more tissue paper from my stamping. I'm going to have to just have a day of just doing that. It's pretty fun. Really messy though. Got ink all over my desk. It's hard to get off. Yeah, we'll just go in with more paint. More paint solves everything, doesn't it? It does in my book. It is perfectly fine. I like her. I think I'll probably put the words right here in this kind of blank space, semi-blank space. We'll see. So I am going to pause the camera and dry this. Let me show you a close-up so you can see what this is looking like. So the girl was way more, the tissue paper was way more opaque than I thought, so it's not showing through as well as I expected, but I do still like the kind of muted color behind. So we'll come back in with some more vibrant color on top, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it is mostly dry. Not caring for this line here, but hopefully I'll be able to kind of camouflage that a little bit with some paint. So I'm just going to get out all the paints that I've already used and just put a little bit out here on my mat. And I'm just going to be using my finger, I believe, to get this color out. Oh, that was too much again. Darn it. Some of the blue. And I'm just going to use my finger and kind of go around about. Just to kind of brighten that up again. Lost some of that vibrancy. Oh, that's working well. This is going to be okay. This is going to be okay. Yeah. Paint actually works better over the tissue paper than it did below it. Interesting. Note to self. This is going to be gorgeous. Oftentimes I find that an art journal page can sometimes have this really ugly phase, like you're like, what was I thinking? What did I do? Did I just wreck the whole idea? And it ends up being really beautiful in the end. So here's hoping for that. So I like that. I want to show you a close-up because you can see it's just drawing out those colors. And again, the lighting is not great. It's also dark and nighttime here, and I don't usually film at night, so that might be having a little bit of effect. So on my camera, just going to get some of the blue in as well, just to bring that back a little bit. I like how it's making her push back into the background more than the being a focal. She was supposed to be the focal image or focal point, and that's not happening. So we're just gonna see what we can make work here. I like it. I like it a lot. Now we're going to get the pink out here. It's going to be a little bit weird because it's an ink rather than an acrylic paint. So getting it to go where I want it to go is a little bit trickier, maybe. It's a beautiful color. Oh, I like this. Kind of making some purples. Really beautiful. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Getting a little bit of mud down there because I had some green, and the yellow and the blue made green, and so then the pink gave it a little bit of a brown tone, but that's okay. I don't know why my stuff tends to have like every color of the rainbow. I'm not like a rainbow person. I don't even like to like paint rainbows or have rainbows. It's really kind of weird. But just about done here. And then I'm going to dry this because I'm going to come in. I'm hoping that to have an area in here. Probably put that other tissue paper on a piece of white paper so that it can kind of stand off of the page a little bit, and then I'll find some, I might find some other kind of focal image, but for now let me show you a close-up and then I'll dry it. So look at all that beautiful color. Like it made purples, it made a pinkish purple, it made like a periwinkle blue kind of color. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to dry this and I'll be right back with you. Okay, we are all dried up, and when I was off camera I went ahead and I adhered this quote that I talked about earlier to a piece of watercolor paper, and I'm going to go ahead and attach that to my page. I am going to use a little bit of black ink to go around the edges here, just some archival ink. And then I did decide there's one more stamp I want to use that I just really want to have stand out on this page, which I'll do in just a quick second. So I'm just going to get this out and just do a little bit of black edging around all the sides of this quote. So before I move on, I do want to talk about the page a little bit. I just really feeling like this needs to go up here, like right by her head and her hand. I haven't quite decided. I could go anywhere, but it just, the whole page speaks to this because it's full of color. It's kind of bold and unashamed, and it speaks self and personality and independence and all of those things that I feel like this is really speaking to me about. So, but what I wanted to come in with here before I finish off is I want to use the stitch stamp. This is one of my favorite things to use in art journaling. So I'm going to get one of these out. These are from Ranger. And I'm going to get a quick stamp block here, just because I don't want it to be a really sloppy impression, but I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping with this. Not exactly sure where I want to go with it, but sorry, I'm off screen here again. I just really like this. I especially thought it would be appropriate like up the side here. Not everywhere, just here and there. And how about on this side? And I think I'll get one of the smaller ones out for some other accent here. There's nothing too big. So I've got this little one. Let's see if I got a small stamp block for that one. Just really feel like it's just really, really cool. This page is really, really cool. Loving it. I know so much of us struggle with our own kind of our own demons, our own fears, our own insecurities about who we are in relation to the rest of the world. You know, that we're too much of this and not enough of that, and it's just really not true. It's lies. We all bring color to the world, and we all need to be who we were created to be. And that doesn't mean that we don't have things to learn to be more gracious, more humble, more selfless, all of those things, but we need to be who God created us to be. So that's my little spiel. So I'm just going to attach this to my page, and I'm going to do some, going to use my archival ink around the edges, and then I'll be all done. You'll be able to see the finished product in the still photos at the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you'll, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will. I do, on a regular basis, I do 2 videos a week, unless something really goes sideways in my life. Right now I'm pretty far ahead on my content, so I hope that you'll check back, and I hope that you enjoy the video, that you learn something, but above all that it communicates a message of and a reminder that the best thing that we can give to the world is to be who we were created to be. So with all of our funkiness, all of our, you know, insecurities and all of our mistakes and everything, it's just, we are the best. Being who we are is the best gift that we can give. So anyway, thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.